Who am I? Who was I born to be?
You're asking today, how long will it take? Somebody's asking, how long will prejudice blind the visions of men?
I believe I know. At least yesterday, I had it all figured out. Do I stand alone? Is the world against me?
However frustrating the hour, it will not be long, because truth crushed earth will rise again. How long? Not long. Because no lie can live forever.
Tomorrow, President Barack Obama will be sworn in for the second time at the request of the American people. Today, men, women, and children across the nation are loading up cars, trucks, and planes in preparation to attend such a historical event. They all look to witness the becoming of a dream. 574 miles away from the experience of a lifetime, families hit the road for an 8-hour and 19-minute drive from Savannah, Georgia to Washington, D.C.
I believe the second inauguration had a major impact on my life. I was one of the individuals who wanted to see President Barack Obama, have a second chance at presidency.
Emotionally, I was relieved that President Obama won. I feel like that he and his administration will implement a lot of ideas that will help citizens and students like me.
Well, the second inauguration affected me very little, but it affected my family in a very large way.
I think the emotional aspect was certainly one of the biggest portions. Just for being at the second inauguration of President Barack Obama, it showed that the American people really had a trust and faith in his vision and the things that he had for the country. And just as an individual that does have a diverse background and a story, it served as really a representation of the people with dreams and what and how you go about making your dreams come true.
Most of the reactions I heard were positive, being that I'm from the African American community. I've been usually 80% around the time in the African American setting, so most of the individuals I was around gave me positive feedback.
Positive ones are probably that he could finish out what he was doing before when he was in office.
Some of the reactions I've heard that are positive were that President Obama is the best president I've heard of, and
negative would have to be that it's taking too long for the things that he said to go through.
Negative remarks I've heard are that he's not going to do good in the office this year.
Of course, African American people as a whole were very proud of a black president.
He's black, so the Caucasians will not really like him that much.
A lot of people were not.
Some minorities are happy to have an African American represent them. Others have their own issues and just aren't happy with them being in office.
Especially younger African Americans, is that once President Obama was elected the first time around, his first inauguration came around, it was like, all right, well, I can sit back and relax and do my own thing. Like, I got a black president in office, and that certainly wasn't the mentality that should have been thought. Now, I'm not going to say that this was on everybody, but for that just shows it makes it more important that we push the issues of African Americans and push and keep on fighting for our interests in this country, but as well as the best interest for America.
He has sounded forth the trumpet that shall never call retreat.
The inauguration has the same level of importance as the first. The thing that stood out to me was that it was held on Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Martin Luther King helped the black blacks and
President Obama, he takes more of a helping everyone approach.
I find it important that the inauguration was held on MLK Day. I feel that we'll look back at this day and say, whoa, this was the moment in history.
Yes, I find it very significant that the second inauguration was held on MLK Day.
I didn't find it significant that his inauguration was held on MLK.
We get the shortest month out of the whole year as a black people, and they couldn't give us anything else but the Black History Month, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Martin Luther King worked for civil rights of African Americans in the community and just minorities in general. And I just personally feel that sometimes people get confused between a civil rights leader and the president.
In the next 3 years, I see the American economy rising up out of this recession that we're dealing with today. I see some of the acts that Obama has put in place, and I see him working in today's community.
I think about that sometimes, and
Well, presidents before Barack Obama dug this country into a very deep hole.
you have to think about his upbringing, some of the things he said, some of the things he hasn't said, the things he's done, he hasn't done.
I see the president's ultimate goal as helping all citizens as much as he possibly can, pushing women's rights, gay rights, and keeping peace with other countries.
One of Obama's major goals that I feel that he is trying to achieve is he's trying to restore the middle class security. One of the main points in any economy.
Every president wants to be in the history books, you know.
And now they're leaving him the mess to clean up, but he can do it. Go Obama.
Bush, he's out, he's nowhere to be found. So you have to think about what happens after the fact.
maybe our taxes will go down, gas prices will go down.
National coverage of the inauguration was astounding.
I believe the media hinders President Barack Obama in many aspects because the media doesn't always tell the whole side of the story.
I don't feel that the media hinders President Obama in office simply because he is the president, and while he has to react to different things differently, and I guess the media can affect that, but ultimately he can make his own decisions.
I see both.
They forget where we were as a country when he first entered office, and we're very impatient as a people, and so is the media.
Some media who's for Obama, they try to promote him and help him. Then you got those that are not with him and they want to hinder him and make, throw dirt on his name and make him look as bad as possible.
Either way, somebody's gonna have something good to say and somebody's gonna have something bad to say. Everybody has their own opinion.
So I think, the media, their job is to get a story. So the easiest story to get is that nothing's happening, nothing's being done.
But I do think that his colleagues hinder him a lot, i.e. Congress.
We have to do some serious social reform as a people. We see our priorities aren't really in where they need to be.
Within the next couple years that he will be in office, it'll affect things like I said, rights for women. Ultimately, that will affect not only my life right now, but my life in the future as far as my career and raising a family and the type of environment that will create for the United States.
I see the change taking place with equilibrium right now. As damaged as the economy is, it seems as we have a high class and a low class. There is no security within the middle class.
Although an estimate of 500 to 700,000 were expected to attend President Obama's second inauguration, an estimate of over 1 million attendees were reported, making this the largest viewed presidential inauguration in the history of the United States.
Red, white, blue.
The immediate impact that President Obama being sworn into office would have on my life is simply continuing to help pay for my education.
A quiet soul with an outspoken mind. My skin is the finest suit in my closet, and it is oh so comfortable. To love me is to know me. I know who I am. I stand strong, motivated, and inspired because I am king of her empire.